Chapter 6 Television. Roald Dahl about the poet. Roald Dahl was a British novelist, short story writer, poet, screenwriter, and a wartime fighter pilot. His books have sold more than 250 million copies worldwide. Television by Roald Dahl. Summary and explanation. Roald Dahl is one of the most prolific modern writers in English and is well known as a children's author. The poem Television is a famous poem of Dahl that advises and inspires to read books instead of watching the television. This is one of the most relevant poems of our time. The poem takes a comic look at a serious problem among young children today. It warns us about the dangers of watching television excessively. TV robs our minds of the power of imagination and creativity. He advises us to read books as it will enable us to discover the deeper levels of joy, find fulfillment in life, and open a whole new and exciting world for us. The most important thing we have learned so far as children are concerned is never, never, never let them near your television set. Or better still, just don't install the idiotic thing at all. In almost every house we have been, we have watched them gaping at the screen. Gaping means staring widely. They loll and slop and lounge about. Loll means to lie about in a relaxed and informal way. Slop means to relax lazily and do nothing. Lounge means to lie around in a lazy way. And stare until their eyes pop out. Pop out means to come out. Last week, in someone's place, we saw a dozen eyeballs on the floor. Eyeballs means ball of the eye within the lids and socket. They sit and stare and stare and sit until they are hypnotized by it. Hypnotized means mesmerized. Until they are absolutely drunk with all that shocking, ghastly junk. Ghastly means unpleasant. Junk means low quality things that are of no use. Oh yes, we know, it keeps them still. They don't climb out the windowsill. Windowsill is a ledge or bracket fixed at the bottom part of a window. They never fight or kick or punch. They leave you free to cook the lunch and wash the dishes in the sink. But did you ever stop to think, to wonder just exactly what this does to your beloved thought? It rots the sense in the head. Rots means the process of decaying. It kills imagination dead. It clogs and clutters up the mind. Clogs and clutters means gets blocked and filled with too many things. It makes a child so dull and blind. He can no longer understand a fantasy, a fairyland. Fantasy means activity of imagining things. His brain becomes as soft as cheese. His powers of thinking rust and freeze. He cannot think, he only sees. All right, you'll cry. All right, you'll say. But if we take this set away, what shall we do to entertain our darling children? Please explain. We'll answer this by asking you, what use the darling ones to do? How use they keep themselves contented? Contented means happy and at ease, satisfied. Before this monster was invented, have you forgotten? Don't you know? We'll say it very loud and slow. They used to read. They'd read and read and read and read and then proceed. Proceed means to go ahead with whatever you were doing. To read some more. Great Scott, Gadzooks. Great Scott means expressing surprise or amazement. Gadzooks means exclamation of surprise. One half their lives was reading books. The nursery shelves held books galore. Galore means in large quantities. Books cluttered up the nursery floor. Cluttered means scattered. And in the bedroom, by the bed, more books were waiting to be read. Such wondrous, fine, fantastic tales. Wondrous means wonderful. Of dragons, gypsies, queens, and whales. Gypsies means wanderers. And treasure isles and distant shores. Isles means a small island where smugglers rowed with muffled oars. Muffled means muted or silent. And pirates wearing purple pants. Oars means move through the water in a boat using a paddle. And sailing ships and elephants and cannibals crouching round the pot. Cannibals means people who eat human flesh. Crouching means adopt position where knees are bent and the upper body is brought forward and down. Stirring away at something hot, it smells so good. What can it be? Good gracious! It's Penelope. Gracious means forgiving, kind. Penelope is the faithful wife of Odysseus. The younger ones had Beatrix Potter. Beatrix Potter is famous English author. With Mr. Todd, the dirty rotter. Mr. Todd is a character from the Tales of Mr. Todd books. And Squirrel Nutkin, Pigling Bland. Squirrel Nutkin, Pigling Bland are the books written by Beatrix Potter and Mrs. Tiggy Winkle, and just how the camel got his hump. Hump means rounded lump found on the back of a camel or other animal. And how the monkey lost his rump. Rump means the back end of an animal or tail. And Mr. Toad, and bless my soul, there's Mr. Rat and Mr. Mole. Oh, books, what books they used to know, those children living long ago. So please, oh please, we beg, we pray, go throw your TV set away, and in its place you can install a lovely bookshelf on the wall. Then fill the shelves with lots of books, ignoring all the dirty looks, the screams and yells, the bites and kicks, and children hitting you with sticks. Fear not, because we promise you that in about a week or two of having nothing else to do, they'll now begin to feel the need of having something to read. And once they start, oh boy, you'll watch the slowly growing joy that fills their hearts means make them happy. They'll grow so keen. Keen means to be interested. Chapter 6, Television. Roald Dahl about the poet. Roald Dahl was a British novelist, short story writer, poet, screenwriter, and a wartime fighter pilot. His books have sold more than 250 million copies worldwide. Television by Roald Dahl. Summary and explanation. Roald Dahl is one of the most prolific modern writers in English and is well known as a children's author. The poem Television is a famous poem of Dahl that advises and inspires to read books instead of watching the television. This is one of the most relevant poems of our time. The poem takes a comic look at a serious problem among young children today. It warns us about the dangers of watching television excessively. TV robs our minds of the power of imagination and creativity. He advises us to read books as it will enable us to discover the deeper levels of joy, find fulfillment in life, and open a whole new and exciting world for us.